What's going on, guys? There it is, the new knife that I got on sale. First off, before I even get into this, I want to look on my phone because I took a note on who to give credit to, because I saw this. I think I want to say it's a Facebook group called like Cold Steel Nation, but I'll tell you for sure in just a moment here, because I took some screen caps. Yes, Cold Steel Nation on Facebook. If you are a Cold Steel fan, you don't have to be a fanboy, but if you like Cold Steel knives, check it out. In that group, there was a gentleman named Andy Gabatino, Gabatino, Gabatino. I'm going to say that. Andy Gabatino. Anyway, he said, a freaking range boss is freaking $12.66 at Midway, as you guys know, right? Midway. I can't do that whole thing, you know, with the websites that sell the certain stuff, if you know what I mean. I know it sounds stupid, but you just can't. But anyway, the list price is $51.99 for this knife. No one really pays that. It was on sale over there for $40, $39.99, and this was on like a blowout. I don't know why. Maybe they overstocked or something, but $12.66. $12.66. Now, shipping, unfortunately, is not free unless you spent like $50 or something. And I was very tempted to get a couple of these, but I'm trying to stay in a budget. So I said, all right, I'm not going to mess with that. In hindsight, maybe it would have been better to just get a few of them, because I hate paying shipping. Shipping was $6.99 plus $1.18 tax, which made this $20.83. However, for $20.83, I am more than happy with my purchase. Would have been even better to get 4 or 5 of them, you know, for $13. But yeah, so this is a Cold Steel Range Boss. If you didn't see the first video, there's the specs on the box. I saved the box specifically for this video, but now I don't need it. So we're going to go ahead and throw it away. I want to start EDCing this. So I put this back in the box just so you guys can see how it comes. It's a little bubble wrap. Not a big deal. But I did play with this guy and I started using it. Today was my first day EDCing it. I did not have anything I needed to cut today so far. It is the evening. Well, mid-afternoon evening, I guess. And so that's sad to me. I'm going to find stuff to cut around the house. This thing is wicked. I love this knife. This is so cool. So this, to me, it's like a, I don't know, a brother or cousin to the Voyager series. There's other knives in this series as well. This is something that's new to me. I haven't really kept up ever since Cold Steel went to GSM. I get little bits here and there. Like I said, you know, being part of the Facebook group, you know, I'll see some of the posts and say, oh, that's kind of cool, whatever. I never really focused too much since the merger, or not merger, excuse me, since the buyout. Right, so if you don't know, Lynn Thompson sold Cold Steel to GSM Outdoors, massive conglomerate, you know, company, tons and tons and tons of different brands. They still run Cold Steel, you know, they still do what they do. It doesn't seem like it's horrible or anything. I mean, for this price, I would say for the like $30 to $40 price tag, still 100% worth it. This thing is really, really cool. So first off, on the blade here, we have a 4116 stainless, okay, which is totally fine. No, it's not Magna Cut or M9 or whatever you guys, M4, excuse me. All the stuff that you guys want, you know, in your super steels. I've talked about this many, many times. It's not for this video. There's a reason why certain people like certain steels. Some blade steel literally performs better than others. However, on the grand scheme of things, if you just take a knife out and go to cut something, the blade steel doesn't matter. I've had the worst of the worst knives. You can go to Walmart at Christmas and buy a pack of knives where you're going to get 9 knives for $5 or something. They're all going to cut open your Amazon box, okay? Some people need to chill a little bit with the blade steel stuff. I get it. You're hyper-focused on it because this is your thing. Knives are your hobby. Or even like, I always said the hobby within the hobby are the steel guys, especially the ones who love sharpening. They have all the sharpening equipment, and they do this and that, and they get these ridiculous edges. Those guys care about blade steel because they know the difference, for the most part. Not all of them, but there's plenty of very knowledgeable dudes that understand the metallurgy that goes into it. They understand all the parts that make up the steel. They understand all that stuff. Most people, even a lot of knife collectors and users, it's just, you know, is it sharp? Yeah, it's sharp. Oh, it's dull now? Sharpen it. Like, it's not rocket science. It doesn't have to be so in-depth. It just depends on how you really grasp this type of hobby. There's many different ways to enjoy knives, right? Not every knife person likes or knows how to sharpen knives. That's okay. Not every knife person is going to be like, oh, what blade steel? Oh, dude, that's piece of crap, no. That is a piece of junk. Don't even bother. So, like, you know, and then there's people just like, oh, that's kind of a cool design. They get it and they cut stuff and they go, yeah, it's sharp. That's nice. I like it. It's fine. There's just, there's so many different collectors and users. You know, that's where you get the bickering and all that kind of stuff. Point is, 4116, totally fine. Used in many, many, many knives. It came ridiculously sharp, as all cold steel knives do. First thing I did was cut into a cardboard box. Then, you know, about 4 or 5 minutes later, I had a bunch of little bits of cardboard everywhere. Because I sliced, you know, what I do with a box, I should, you know, I don't have to make a whole video on it. I actually don't have one behind me. But like, you know, you open a cardboard box, you have the flaps, you have the 4 flaps. I cut off the flaps evenly, and I make like panels. Then the actual box that's left, I cut the corners down, I cut the bottom across, you know, so I have all these like basically sheets, small sheets of cardboard, depending on the size of the box, of course. And then I cut strips, you know, with each individual panel. And then sometimes if I run out, if I'm still messing around with it, then I'll cut it into even smaller pieces. But generally strips work really good. I save them. I use them to make fires. It's cool. Sometimes I'll just throw it out. Just depends on how much cardboard I have around. But yeah, I have to say the first thing that comes to mind. Now, this blade itself, like I said, total Voyager-esque. I love the stonewash in it, finish on it. I don't know how well this lighting here is going to show you that. But it is really, really nice. It's glass smooth. I love a clip point blade, so I like the blade style on this guy. What really, really stood out the second I opened this thing was just how grippy this handle is and how thin it is. So we have a fairly thick blade stock here, as well as a thick lock bar. Okay, this is what is going to be making the blade lock in. Of course, we see we do have a pin here, so it's not a direct lineup. This is actually a stronger design. It is easy, like if there's no sharp edges or anything on here, but just look how thin the scale is around that, right? It's actually a very thin knife, and it's pretty lightweight. Again, let me reference, this is brand new, I don't really remember, 3.4 ounces. 3.4 ounces for such a large blade. It's awesome. But these scales on both sides, 100% is almost grip tape. This is like skater tape. So, like, some dudes are going to love this, and some guys might be like, no, that's not, like, I don't like that. On my bare skin, it is super, super grippy. I don't think it's teetering into the uncomfortable, like, level of grip, because some grip is just, like, almost too much. It's just irritating. This one's, like, really kind of borderline. But it feels so good. Like, if you like grippy knives, this is it. I just cannot express to you how grippy this thing is. I don't know if you can even tell, because the grip pattern, just a bunch of random dots, is just molded in. But it works so, so well. All right, carrying it today, because the second I opened it, I went, whoa, that's grippy. The pocket clip, it does stick a little bit in the pocket because it is landing on such grip. The pocket clip does have some flex to it, but it's a little on the stiffer side. All right, you can see there's a little curvature in there. So, like, the pocket fitment, once it's in there, put it this way, you're not going to lose your knife. But it does grab the pocket, if you know what I mean. Like, once you know, because when I put my, now, especially ones that are grippy like this, I tend to put my fingernail just underneath it. So when I go to put it in, I give it just the slightest lift. That way it's not just kind of mushing the edge of the pocket and I'm trying to put it in 10 times. It is a little bit more difficult to put in and a little bit more difficult, like you'll grab the material and want to pull your pants up before it releases. All right, so if you don't like that, this is probably not the one for you. You could hyperextend this clip a little, like if you took a multi-tool or even a pry bar and lift it up on this just a little bit more than you should, it'll bend the clip up and it'll give you an easier way to bring it out, but that's playing with fire because you can very easily bend it just a little too much and now it's just loose and flopping off the top. Like, I hate when pocket clips get loose enough where they click against the side. I know some of you guys know what I'm talking about. If you carry and use your knives, it's just like, especially if it's like an aluminum or a hard, side of the scale. But anyway, you can see it is technically ambidextrous, but there's a longer side. So this is basically a right-handed thumb stud, but this is reversible. You can unscrew this and switch it the other way. So the longer post is on the left side. Because it's a lockback, it can be truly ambidextrous. You can see there is holes drilled and tapped for left side carry. But right now, obviously, it's right side tip up. So if you want a super grippy, super thin, dependable knife, because this thing, I mean, it has a long enough cutting edge on it where this could really do some heavy work. So I'm very excited to kind of use this a little more. There is zero blade play in any direction. It is absolutely perfect. All right, we do have screwed hardware on here instead of like pinned or anything like that, so obviously you can adjust it if it ever did get loose. There is jimping on the handle here. I don't feel it. I mean, I should say I barely feel it. It's not making a huge difference there. It's tickling the side of my thumbs. So it's not super grippy here, which is ironic because the handle on both sides are just so damn grippy. So if you're one of those people that like, no, if it doesn't have cool jimping, then it's not for me. This one's not for you, and that's fine. There's lots of knives out there. But this one is friggin' awesome. Nice and smooth. I mean, just perfect locked up. And for the price, come on. This is by far, seriously, like, not even close, the best $13 knife I've ever bought in my life. This is probably up there with the top 50 knives in my entire, well, maybe even the top, like, it's hard to even say stuff like that. I'll say, yeah, top 50 knives of all time for like 30 bucks. I'll say that. I'm just super impressed. That's all. I'm very impressed with it. I dig it. You know, no flipper. I mean, it's a totally different style depending on what you like in your knives. Some people don't like lockbacks. It's a little bit harder. I mean, you can manipulate it so that you can drop it just a little bit. A safer way to do it one-handed is if you reach up on it, like I do this sometimes, especially since it's a little bit of a larger knife. If you depress the lock and then use your finger to just, you have to just basically knock it off being straight, right? Knock it off or angle it just a little bit. Then you can safely switch your grip so your hand's not in the channel and then close it. All right, so I mean, it's not terribly hard to close one hand if you practice a little bit. All right, but I mean, generally, if I have another hand available, I'll open it and close with two hands. Not a big deal. You could do like a blade drop. All right, that I do with a lot of the bigger cold steel knives. And then you could push this against an object like a table like this, again, just to get it off center. And then bring it in. You could do it on the, the side of your leg or whatever. There's a million ways you can manipulate it one-handed, but generally speaking, it's just easier to open, cut, and close with two hands, put it back in your pocket, and you're done. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you have this knife, let me know what you think of it down in the comment section, or one of its brothers. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.